Hello everybody, it's so lovely to be here with you today on International Day of Calm. I'm feeling really honoured to have the opportunity to talk to you about walking and how it can introduce calm into your lives. My name is Niamh Osheehan. I live in a village called Jesus Pobre, which means poor Jesus in Spanish. And I live in the foothills of a beautiful mountain called the Mongo. I hope you can see my surroundings. They're very calm and very beautiful. I'm a mother, I'm a worker, I'm a wife, and I'm a walker. I'm also a talker, and I'm a singer. So I have a very multifaceted life. But primarily I've discovered how walking is so very important to me, and I want to tell everybody else about how important it should be to them. Something as natural, as easy, as accessible as walking should be embraced, because it can bring so many assets to our lives. I have Walk Your Way Well, which is a small business that helps people introduce wellness into their lives through walking. Imagine you can walk your way happy, you can walk your way calm, you can walk your way sober, you can walk your way to many things. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about today. And it's what I want to talk to everybody about, how we can walk our way well.
Take a walk today, our journey's underway. May the road rise up to show you the way. Feel the wind on your back, the rays on your face. Let's do what they say, believe the cliche. Storms are gonna pass, time is gonna tell. Figure things out, walk your way well.
I thought I'd start today by telling you a little story about myself. About 5 years ago, I was suffering from overwhelm, stress, lack of direction, lack of motivation, and I really wasn't feeling myself. Who was I? Who was myself? As being a mum of 3 is challenging. I think many of us will relate to this. Being a parent is hard work. Being a wife, being a worker, being a singer, being a member of a band. I was lots of things, but who was I? I'd lost my way. And all of a sudden, I got the urge to walk. It might seem strange, but I had a flashback to something back in my past in school, where we studied something called the Camino Santiago. And this is a pilgrimage. And I started to research on Google, what is this Camino Santiago and why am I thinking of it at this time in my life? And so I started walking. It was a real case of when you've got problems, walk away. I literally walked away. I walked for 36 days. I traveled more than 800 kilometers on foot. And that was the start of my journey. That was the start of finding calm in my life and finding myself again, introducing walking as a tool in my armory to de-stress and help me identify with myself. It was an incredible journey. I loved every minute of it. Even though it was hard, don't get me wrong, I did love every minute of it. And that's what took me to where I am today. I have a business called Walk Your Way Well, and I want to spread the word. I want to see everybody walking the Camino Santiago. And if you can't take 36 days out of your life to walk, at least go for a walk every day. Introduce calm into your life through the connection of nature, through putting one foot in front of the other, finding yourself, even for a few moments every day. I hope you'll join me on this journey, and I hope you enjoy our little session today. So, a journey that started on the Camino Santiago, a journey of wellness and discovery and renewed energy. It continues, and it continues every day and today. Another story I'd like to tell you about is how in 2019, I decided, strangely enough, to take a little break from alcohol. I was not dealing with life very well, and I'd put on weight, and I just didn't know how I could tackle it. So I decided, okay, let's do a 28-day challenge. Let's quit alcohol for 28 days. Now, being a mum of 3, having stress in life, people know how easy it is to reach for a glass of wine at 6 o'clock, sometimes earlier. So it wasn't an easy challenge to take on 28 days without alcohol. And what I decided to do, because of my love of walking, was to coincide that 28-day challenge with a 28-day walking challenge. Because when you quit alcohol, you gain a lot of extra time. That time where you were sitting at home cooking and drinking wine or drinking with friends, what do you do at that time? So I walked. And I walked 280 kilometers to go hand in hand with my 28-day quitting alcohol challenge. And it was tremendous. It gave me such a sense of clarity. It gave me such a sense of connection to a new world, a world that was clear of alcohol. I had a clean mind. And it was beautiful to leave alcohol behind and gain a further renewed connection with walking. It was a really positive time. And this is why sometimes I mention walk your way sober. I literally walked my way sober in those 28 days. I'm now 3 years alcohol free. I'm loving life. I'm loving walking, and I'm loving the message that I'm passing on to all you guys of how you can use walking as a tool in your armory to gain what it is you're lacking, whether it be direction or motivation or fresh air or energy. I know that you can use walking to help you achieve that. Walking is a great way of getting outdoors. It's free, it's easy, it's accessible, and you know what? We're designed to do it. That's why we have the bodies we do with these wonderful legs connected to us. It's so that we can walk. We're walking for many years, historically, through our generations and through our development and through our evolution. So it makes sense that rather than put ourselves under immense pressure to squeeze in an hour at the gym of high intensity training, why not introduce some walking into your week? Why not introduce some peace and calm, putting one foot in front of the other, just like we're supposed to do? Consider it, think about it. And if you want to learn more, you can visit me on Walk Your Way Well. You can email me, you can reach out, and we can talk about how walking can help you. We live in strange times, and recently we've been faced with lots of challenges, lots of changes in our world. And this causes us a lot of anxiety. It creates changes that we're not well equipped to deal with on this scale. And anxiety is a complicated and difficult thing to deal with on a daily basis. Some people actually suffer from chronic anxiety. Can you imagine something so debilitating that the stresses in your environment are making it difficult for you to function? It's hard and it's sad. And I have people in my life who suffer from anxiety, and I feel for them. And what we do is, well, we go for walks as much as we can. We try to get out in nature and we try to connect with this beautiful world that we're given. Anxiety releases hormones into the body that cause us great stress, and they cause us physical and emotional damage. And what we need to do is we need to introduce walking into our lives so that we can create those happy endorphins to counteract the negative. And that's something that walking does, and anybody suffering from anxiety should consider this as a way to escape their own heads and their own stresses and anxiety. I'd like to introduce you to my friend Sharon. She's a magnificent person with a very checkered and interesting and beautiful background. And recently she's been suffering from anxiety. It's very difficult for her. And I'm really proud of her for coming on this little summit today to talk to you, because it's not easy. But one thing I will tell you about Sharon is she's a great walker, and she loves walking with me, and I love walking with her, and it helps her immensely. So listen to Sharon, and hopefully anybody suffering from anxiety today might pick up some tips from her.
Hello, my name is Sharon and I'm a walker. If you'd have told me a few years ago that I would become a keen walking fan, then I would have laughed and said no. I run a lot, but I don't run anymore, I walk. And the reason I don't run anymore is because it's high impact, and originally I had bad knees, so it was bad for my knees. So I switched to walking and felt like I was cheating when I was out actually doing exercise. But since then, I've travelled a journey, as we do in life, and now I find walking is central and very important in my life. It's so much more than just putting one foot in front of the other. I'm going to take you through my journey a little bit so you understand. I suffer from severe anxiety, recently diagnosed in crisis situation, and my life prior to that, which was in last summer, I was renting my house, I was selling my house, I was on the hamster wheel of making my life turn round, and my anxiety level snuck up behind me. And when I actually moved house, which is a life-changing situation, I went into crisis mode with anxiety. So since then, my walking's taken a bit of a turn, because I use walking now when I want to calm myself and I want to be calm. I walk in the country, I connect with nature. I also use it when I feel in situations when I'm lacking confidence. I walk and I think about how I can overcome it. I absolutely love walking. I meet people. That's another thing that's very important for me. I live on my own, and that brings its own anxiety sometimes. But I can always know I can find a walking buddy to walk around the campo, walk around the country with me, or walk up a hill or a mountain, and that's really great. I've met a lot of people through the walking. I never could speak to people when I was running because I was too busy catching my breath. So that's where I am with it at the moment. The things that I can do when I'm walking, I can think about and target situations that I want to deal with. I can be in the moment and just focus on what I'm doing. And that makes me feel calmer. It makes me feel a lot calmer.
So maybe you don't suffer from anxiety. Maybe you're stressed. It's a different thing. It's a different condition, because the world we live in today is really challenging. We have balancing our financial situation. We have dealing with our kids, dealing with our jobs, trying to get from A to B, constantly on the move, social media bombarding us with information. This all causes stress. Stress is a really derogatory thing to have in our lives because it causes disease. Stress can cause hypertension, it can give us a stroke, it can lead to cancer. We shouldn't have stress in our lives, but unfortunately we do. So the question is, how can we manage stress? How can we eliminate the stress and introduce calm into our lives? And yes, you've guessed it. I'm going to tell you that we should use walking. And I'm not telling fibs, it's true. Walking gives us the happy endorphins that counteract the negative endorphins that cause stress. I'm really pleased to introduce another friend of mine today. She's a highly successful businesswoman. She works hard and she suffers from stress. But she uses walking in her toolbox to help her deal with this. Enjoy our next session, learn something from it, and if you're suffering from stress, why not go for a walk this week or even today?
Hi, my name is Clara and I own my own business. So my job basically consists of me flying around the world all day, like all week. I'm never at one place more than a week, and I'm basically never at my own home. So I take lots of responsibility for the job and for lots of people. I'm always in cities, but the one thing that I do to calm myself down is I go on walks, which is usually at night when I get off work. No one tells me to stop, so I just work all day. But then when I finish, I'll put on a nice comfy pair of trainers and a coat if it's cold, and I just enjoy walking around the dark cities so much. It's the one thing that keeps me sane, I think. Every person needs one thing like that. So for me, it's the walking. I'll just walk between the big skyscrapers. Or if I find a park, I'm lucky, I walk around the park. And I'm just keeping in constant motion, which calms my mind and my body, which is very important for me. So if I couldn't rely on walking, I don't know what I would do. But that's the one thing. It's the main part of my day that I look forward to every day. So I really enjoy it, and it's the one thing that keeps me, myself, I guess, as a person. I don't know what I would do without it.
So we've talked about anxiety, and we've talked about stress, and we've talked about how introducing walking into your lives can help eliminate those things or counteract those things. And we're always advised to meditate. Meditation is a fantastic way to connect with ourselves and to reduce our stress levels and to introduce calm. But not everybody is equipped to meditate. Not everybody can find the time or the headspace to sit, whether it be for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, to meditate. So I'd like to tell you a little bit about meditative walking. And that's where we move and meditate at the same time. It's a fantastic phenomenon because for people like me who can't sit still for 10 minutes, I hit the road, I put one foot in front of the other, I go for a walk, and I meditate at the same time. It's called mindful walking, and it's where you put some focus on your feelings, the sensations of your body, putting one foot in front of the other, the colours that surround you, the nature that surrounds you. Try to leave the things behind, try to eliminate things from your head and just focus on the present moment. My friend Paul is a yoga guy. He's a great guy, and he's a big fan of walking and meditating simultaneously. So I'm going to hand it over to Paul to tell you a little bit more. I hope you enjoy his chat.
Hi, my name is Paul. I'm 27. I'm from Brixton, London, and I've been a yoga teacher for the past 4 years now. And I'm going to tell you a bit about walking meditation. What is it? Basically, it's meditation while moving. It's a shift of consciousness while being on the move. And why does it work? Basically, it works because nowadays in our everyday lives, we're always on the rush. We don't take time to experience things, to feel the things. And meditation, taking the time to connect with your mind and body is extremely important. Being mindful, the mindfulness of what's happening is what matters. And some people just cannot stand still to meditate. It's hard, the body needs to be always on the move because what lives is always on the move. Life is about movement. And being mindful, it's about connecting your body and mind with your thoughts, with how you feel, with your sensations, without judging them, without thinking, without feeling that what I think is good or bad. And you can do that while walking. It's about feeling your whole body, all your muscles, and being aware of what surrounds you, being aware of the color blue in the sky, being aware of the green of the grass, about the color, about the material, about everything that surrounds you. And it helps you to clear your mind and body. That's really important. It helps you to deal better with bad feelings, bad emotions, bad thoughts. It helps you to know how to deal with them. And also, it reduces for sure your stress, your anxiety, and it helps you to live more, to experience, it increases, if I may, your experience with positive emotions, and that's the beauty of it. And for sure, so it decreases your stress, and it's been proved that it does improve physical symptoms and mental well-being for those who suffer from physical and or mental illness. But the beauty of it also, a lot of beauty things about it, it's that it also works on healthy people who are stressed out in their everyday lives. And how can you do it and where? Basically, because you basically walk, and half an hour a day would be great to do, but even if you don't have time enough to start with that, because you go step by step, you can start with only 10 minutes. 10 minutes of walking meditation, that's great enough. You should do that in a calm and quiet place, for sure, but mostly a place where you feel comfortable. And for sure, nature is highly recommended. And about how to do it. It's not, you can go on a walk for sure and take time about, how you breathe, how you feel, how you walk, feet, knees, legs, abdomens, lungs, everything. But it doesn't have to be like this. You can go your own path. You can go into a maze if you know one, and you can go back and forth. You can walk in circle. It's up to you. It's about your intuition. It's about really listening to your body and soul, body and mind, to feel better, to connect with your own self. That's what it is about. And I highly recommend you just to try at least once meditative walk.
So it's been a real privilege for me to talk to you today on International Day of Calm, in the hopes that you'll introduce walking into your life. Whether you're suffering right now, in this very moment, at your desk, in work, and you need to get up and go for a walk to give yourself that sense of calm, or whether you're suffering overwhelm generally in your life, or whether you're suffering from anxiety and you don't see a way out, whatever it is, if you can fit walking into your week, I know it's going to help you. It releases those endorphins that counteract the inflammation and the negative hormones that cause us illness. And that's what we want. We want to be well. We want to walk your way well. It's lovely to have been here with you today. And please check out my website, Walk Your Way Well. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook and all the usual social media platforms. Feel free to contact me. I'd love to talk to you about your walking habits, and I'd love to talk to you about how we can walk together, either physically or virtually, to help you find a calmness that we deserve, a calmness that will serve us well in our lives, and a calmness that will make us feel better and fitter.